This morning we are blessed to have very special guest speakers, Matt and Hiromi Sieradski. And some of you, most of you I think you know them. For those of you who don't, and don't know about their association with us, very briefly, Matt and Hiromi joined the center in 2005. And then in 2010, Matt had an awakening and became a center teacher. And then in 2017, Hiromi had an awakening and became a center teacher. So they're alumni and former teachers here. And then in 2021, they went off and started their own organization, the Heaven and Earth Circle. And they do teach traditional meditation and mantra practice, but they also teach healing arts. Sacred healing arts, Tai Chi and qigong, and especially, I hope I get this right, sacred touch biodynamic craniosacral work. That's a mouthful for me, I don't know why. Anyway, so they have a website, they have recorded talks, video, audio, a newsletter. You can check it out. It's heavenearthcircle.org, all run together. And so you find out much more about them there. So without further ado, I'm going to let them come up and do their thing.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Joel, for the invitation and the warm welcome. It's nice to see everybody here and in cyberspace here. We hold the Center for Sacred Sciences here, and Joel and all of the Sangha in our hearts with love and fondness. As Joel mentioned in his gracious intro, we now have our own small spiritual association, Heaven Earth Circle. And he mentioned already what we teach. We teach much of what we learned here at the center, and also mantra yoga, qigong and tai chi, and biodynamic craniosacral work, which we call sacred touch. That's our trademark, but we're not going to trademark it because it's the inheritance of humanity to come together in that way. So if anybody's interested in what we're doing there, we can talk either at the end of the talk a little bit, or probably best would be afterwards during the potluck informal.
Hello, everyone. So wonderful to be back here. And today I'm Hiromi. Those of you I don't know, nice to see you all in cyberspace. Thank you for being here today. I came here today as Premi. Premi means lover in Sanskrit. And while I was here, I tried to avoid devotion like a plague. So you never know how one person's journey is going to look like. And my devotion came through just all the teaching that I received here. So I am result of all your support and love and care that I received while I was here. So thank you so much for being here and supporting my process. And in Japanese, we have a term, furusato, and that means my hometown. And to me, this is my hometown. So thank you so much. And everything just came through when I started studying here. My daughter here is, my kids are here today, and they were babies. My daughter was 1 year old, and I was so lost, and having to be in this Sangha really supported my process. See, I'm older, was, embracing my white, and just embracing this red panda look, but this is totally part of the beauty that I get to appreciate, and kids are here to also support and call on when we say something that they can say, that's not true. So I became Premi, and as a devotional practitioner, what I really got to taste is the gratitude for gurus. And guru as in the teaching, but also my root guru is here today. I wanted to offer this gratitude to Joel today. And this chant is the second verse of Guru Stotram and a 14-verse excerpt from sacred texts known as the Guru Gita. And it is an attribute to the great Indian philosopher and saint Shankara. So, Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnanam Janasalakaya Chakshurumiritam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnanam Janasalakaya Chakshurumiritam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnanam Janasalakaya Chakshurumiritam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. So now that is taken care of, and I express my gratitude that I like to start with.
Are you going to say what it meant?
Oh, sorry. So what the mantra means is, I offer my respectful obeisance to my spiritual master, who with the torch of knowledge has opened my eyes, which were blinded by the darkness of ignorance. And to me, my teacher has always done for me, so thank you. Okay, so I like to, now I am a full-on devotional practitioner, and I'm not sure how many of you enjoy chanting practice, but this is my invitation. You're welcome to just listen and enjoy the people who sing, but also, if you haven't had an opportunity, please take this as a play, just little children trying to experiment on different games and that kind of idea, and see what it feels like for you. And it's not about your singing voice skill set. It's not about that at all. It's about inner work, inner joy. So I'm here to share my joy with you. And so we'll start with simply reciting Om. And so this is what the Swami Shivananda says about chanting Om. So I'm going to kind of guide you into this. A little knowing how to do really helps. And just see if you could kind of find in your own experience. Chant Om from very bottom of your heart with profound feeling. When chanting Om, knowing its omniscience, omnipotence, omnipresence, feel that Om gush forth with true color from every nerve, every vein, every cell, every atom, every molecule, every electron, and very corpuscle of your body, and
Corpuscle.
corpuscle.
Where is it?
Over here, corpuscle.
Corpuscle.
Of your body. And pour forth Om vibration into the world with mighty vigor, speed, force, and strength. You were thinking, wow, Om has that much meaning? But this is what I mean by just hearing, kind of help you to find in your own experience. So chant, he says to, whenever you sit down, practice for 5 minutes, and that will help you. And so you wanted to bring the sound from feet on the ground and bring the sound from your pelvis floor all the way up to heaven. All the way up to heaven. That's all. That's all. So we'll practice for just 5 minutes and see what you feel. Okay? And then we're going to do ah, o, and just really just kind of sense into that inner experience. Not about the sound that, you feel something about your voice, okay? we feel more grounded, that we'll start with invocation. This is how I usually run the chanting sessions, and it is from Upanishad. And it seems very wordy, but you get hung of it. And it's such a beautiful invocation, and I really love it come from Upanishad. Now when I was here, I was all about Zen Buddhism, and now I'm just move on to Bhakti Yoga. And so I brought bunch of books that I've been really treasuring at the moment. So at the end, after the session, you can come out and check it out, what kind of books that I've been really exploring. So in the beginning, just put your heart and see what this protection mantra will do for you. We'll practice main part 3 times, and then we'll end with Shanti. And so words are Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, Saha Vidyam Karavavahai, Tejasvina Vaditamastu, Ma Vidishavahai, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So you see the Ma Vidisha. So here, this is the correct writing of it. So even though written in SA, it's Ma Vidisha. And then some of us know this mantra, so just go with the flow. Go with the flow, and you'll get it. I wanted to do one more thing, because I think sometimes knowing what that means helps. So one more thing to kind of give you explanation here is Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. It's like, why do we recite 3 times? It's just, sometimes you might wonder, there's actually meaning to it. What this means is that there is this threefold chanting of Shanti, is that silence after we say Shanti. So this is why you probably never heard of somebody saying Shanti, 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 right? You just kind of, whenever you hear Om Shanti, 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 the reason why is that silence in between Shanti is really important. So that's why there is that silence, emphasize this silence is a representation of true peace. So just see if we could feel into that when we say Shanti at the end. Okay, so let us say the word just aloud together so we can say, recite this. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, Saha Vidyam Karavavahai, Tejasvina Vaditamastu, Ma Vidishavahai. We'll do this 3 times, so it just think of this as a protection we're putting together. It's the group effort, so we'll have a protection of this mantra, and let's see how we can do this. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahano Saha Vidyam Karavavahai, Tejasvina Vaditamastu, Ma Vidishavahai. Sahano gunaktu sahavidyam karavavahai tejasvina varitamastu ma vidishavahai. Om Sahanam Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahavidyam Karavavahai Tejasvina Varitamastu Ma Vidishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti That was beautiful, everyone. I know you thought this was it, right? Well, guess what? I have one more. I'm very, very into putting the spell, the protection mantra in the beginning. Sahana tend to be practiced in the beginning of gathering and setting the protection. And this time, I wanted to bring the Ganesha. Ganesha is the elephant god in Hindu tradition, and he is known as the remover of obstacles and also god of wisdom and the bringer of good luck. I think we all could use all of them. So how you can practice is that if you are working on some form of obstacle, see if you could place that mantra and let the Ganesha take your obstacle away. And when you practice mantra, and then you can't quite feel the heart, place your hands on your heart, and that really helps to connect with your heart. And this is all inner practice. And I wanted to say I used to really get worked up with any kind of discomfort. Discomfort, too, is blessing from Divine Mother. So it is showing you something that you can kind of be curious, like, where is this from? Why am I feeling this way? So, just notice that, but see what mantra will do. It's all about just be curious and trying out. And so today I wanted to let you just taste a different thing. So to me, did not bring the candy, but I brought the mantra to share with you because it always makes me feel sparkle and forget the obstacles. So, okay. So where's the Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha? And I think it's simple enough. We can do this together, and we're gonna let all the obstacle taken by Ganesha. So. Let's join me and let's just sing together. It's very simple. We're gonna repeat for a little bit and just keep on going. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. 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 Thank you all for joining me, and that was a lot of fun. And we'll have more later.
So, we're here today to talk about relationship on the spiritual path. Well, to introduce you to some devotional practice, some mantra yoga. But the talk today is about relationship. Specifically, human relationship. So, Hiromi and I will be celebrating our 25th wedding anniversary in June. We have 2 children together, age 20 and 18, and they're sitting in the audience here. And we've been walking the spiritual path together for our entire relationship. We met in a multicultural psychological counseling program, and we'll tell you a few more stories. But basically, we've have some experience with relationship on the path. So what we found is that marriage is a form of devotional spiritual practice. And this is based in devotion to love for each other and also to a higher ideal that we both aspire to, love for God or for truth. Indeed, all human relationships have the same foundation in mutual identity, which is one way to experience non-duality, also known as love.
So main ingredients in relationship is love. And to me, also, it's this. Oops.
Yeah, let me do it.
It's
So,
a toy.
It's a toy, but the idea is when I push the button, they fall down together. Let's see if I can get them to do it. There. And then when you let go, they stand up together.
So to me, that's love. But also I like to share 20th century polymath Rabindranath Tagore's poetry. Love adorns itself. It seeks to prove inward joy by outward beauty. Love does not claim possession, but gives freedom. Love is an endless mystery, for it has nothing else to explain it. Love's gift cannot be given. It waits to be accepted.
Beautiful. So the closer the relationship, the deeper the shared understanding of mutual identity. The foundation of human relationship is family, of course. And furthermore, the balance of all human relationships are ultimately based upon the health of the family. Confucius, in the 5th century BCE, sums it up this way: to put the world in order, we must first put the nation in order. To put the nation in order, we must first put the family in order. To put the family in order, we must first cultivate our personal life. We must first set our hearts right. So family is based on intimacy. Intimacy. Intimacy is the state of being intimate. The state of being intimate. What does intimate mean? Well, Webster's, the abridged definition, number 1, marked by a warm friendship developed through long association, intimate friends and family. 2, engaged in, involving, or marked by sex or sexual relations, intimate partnership. And 3, intrinsic or essential, belonging to or characterizing one's deepest nature. I'm going to repeat that once more. Belonging to or characterizing one's deepest nature, intimate. Basically, we're using the word intimacy to refer to warm friendships, close family bonds, or partnerships, which all, as indicated by the 3rd Webster definition, indicate that this type of close human bond brings us into conscious awareness of that which it belongs to or characterizes our deepest nature, intimacy. In other words, intimacy brings us closer to our true self, which is God, according to the mystics. Sounds great, but intimacy takes work. Intimacy takes work to maintain, and intimacy takes work to deepen. Why is this so? Well, it's because under delusion, we all have self-centered conditioning. We all have a sense of a being that is separate, cut off from this intimacy under delusion. So the work is to allow the intimate relationship to help us recognize and let go of our ego grasping, of our conditioning. The process of spiritual work can be understood through Joel's 4 principles of the path, which I'll remind you: attention, commitment, detachment, and surrender. So how does this work? In an intimate partnership relationship, for instance, love gets our attention. Maybe we fall madly in love. And we're fascinated by our partner. Maybe we don't fall madly in love. Maybe we're just tiptoeing into it. But there's a fascination there, right? By the way, we fell madly in love. But there's some sort of fascination, right? There's a carrot. There's some candy there. And that gets our attention. So that's the first principle of the path. We love the experience of the intimacy that we get, and so we commit to the relationship. We commit. That's the second principle. Then comes the hard part. We're triggered. They're triggered. The honeymoon phase ends. We have to stay committed to the relationship so that we can learn the third principle, which is detachment from our knee-jerk reactions, our conditioned self-centered behavior. And by the grace of God, we're granted surrender into the mystery of the dance of I and thou, this dance of relationship. Even in non-partnership relationships, they also require commitment and detachment to last. People aren't always going to behave the way you expect them to or want them to, even close friends and family. So following these principles, we can maintain and deepen our bond with the other, who is showing us that which belongs to our deepest nature. And to facilitate this work, spiritual traditions emphasize the need for moral guidelines. Work in relationship must be based on morality. And hopefully we begin to learn about that from our family of origin.
Without the refuge and protection of morality, we don't go anywhere. We just get stuck in the muck. We learn small foundation from our family, just things like take your turn, take turns, and share. I learned so much more of what the moral means to me in the CSS foundation class that I took more than once. And that is, as you might notice, that we use it continuously. Precepts is something that we still uses in our practice. And I learned so much that when we were studying 10 selfless precepts, 10 selfless precepts. So coming here, and every week we have each morality to practice from the 10 selfless precepts really help to see where my blockage are and where is I'm doing pretty good. So as a teacher now, that I'm continue to deepen by sharing this wonderful tool that I gained here and continue to share. So I feel very, very grateful for what I learned here once again.
So morality actually derives from the unity revealed by intimacy. Moral guidelines from a mystical perspective are hardwired into the cosmos. Reality is one, and it is good, and we are all that. Thus, we should treat all beings with kindness, compassion, forgiveness, generosity, and gratitude to start with. This, by the way, is the meaning of inclusiveness. Inclusiveness doesn't mean that everybody's ego trip is equal. An ego trip or an identification pattern causes suffering, basically by definition. Could be a little bit of suffering, could be a whole lot of suffering. Could be just for you, could be for a lot of people. And so some ego trips, some people's conditioning is more harmful than others, actually, and we should recognize that, and we do culturally, socially. However, they're all equal in one sense: they're all based in delusion.
We're all equally want to be happy. We all wanted to be happy, and ego trips are confused energy expressing longings. You see, when you just became a bhakta, that's how you can see things. So you can kind of soften just your mind as well as your body. And inclusiveness means everyone has the same source in love, divine love. And this knowledge is revealed to us in our heart by intimacy.
So our deepest nature is one. We're all divine consciousness. Morality means to act as if we know this truth of love. Remember Jesus' golden rule in Matthew 7:12. Do to others whatever you would like them to do to you. This is the essence of all that is taught in the law and the prophets.
And then here I would say morality doesn't mean rules based in shame and guilt or oppressive social norms or groupthink. It is based in love, divine love.
So working for intimacy, like we're talking about, is the path of return to wholeness. Intimacy literally takes us to our deepest essence. Our ego trips, our self-centered conditioning gets in the way. This also includes our trauma, which is stored bodily in our nervous system.
And we need to attend to it and resolve our own healing so that we can deepen, maintain intimacy in our relationship. And the morality will help you to heal those areas.
It takes us to greater wholeness, to integration of our personality. And ultimately, freedom comes from working for intimacy through morality. We become free in our relationships when we act from morality based in intimacy. So how to do this? Well, at the center, we learn about the 10 selfless precepts. These are, as Hiromi mentioned, these are all essential guidelines for selfless living, to help us recognize and let go of our harmful self-centered conditioning. Now, we don't have time to discuss all of the precepts today, but 3 of the most important in this context are responsibility, honesty, and integrity. So responsibility, the precept that people in the practitioners group, at least back in our day, would recite daily. And that goes like this: to take responsibility for my life, not to blame others for my own unhappiness, nor make excuses for my own mistakes. And honesty, not to deceive myself or others by word or deed. And integrity, not to take what does not belong to me. So based upon these precepts, this practice, we cannot expect our loved one to act in any particular way. We have to take responsibility for our life. And meanwhile, so we have to accept our situation, our relationship, our karma, if you will, if you want to use that term, and speak our truth in a way that honors the integrity of our own individual feelings, needs, and healthy boundaries. While meanwhile, we must understand that our loved one has the similar feelings and needs. So integrity is about boundaries in one sense, especially in relationships. Honesty is about speaking our truth, especially in intimate relationships.
That's right.
That's right, indeed. Aho. So our job is to treat the other with patience, kindness, and a heartfelt commitment to clear and nonviolent communication. In order to do this, we have to learn to feel what we are feeling and communicate it in a way that is both non-judgmental and lacking harmfulness. Obviously, this is not an easy thing to do when we are triggered. The more we can do this, the more our interactions and arguments become the opportunity for deeper intimacy. So even though we're triggered, that just means it's a more juicy spiritual opportunity. But in order to do this, we have to let go of expectations.
So I like to offer this famous verse from Bhagavad Gita. And when I was here, it was actually Fred. He had a practitioners group with Bhagavad Gita, and that was my first time had an opportunity to read Bhagavad Gita. And back then, it's like, that's good. I was not quite ripe for it. But, once again, that he didn't just flicker at all, just took me there, and I was once again totally saved by my guru, who didn't get annoyed with me. And so here I am to return here, and now I'm going to recite this for you, and then I will tell you what it is. It's from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 247. I think Joel would like to mention this one too. Kanmanye parikaraste ma paleshu kadachana ma karma palahetuva ma te sangostuva karmani. You have the right to work, but never to the fruit of work. You should never engage in action for the sake of reward, nor should you long for inaction. So this is one thing we can kind of remember. It's like, okay. And Gandhi actually has a more precise way of describing what it means. I like to share with you. Satisfaction lies in the effort, not in the attainment. Full effort is full victory.
Beautiful. So intimacy leads to freedom because it reveals the truth of non-separation. In the final analysis, as we've mentioned, all is one. This is true in every moment. It is impossible to ascertain this truth directly. This is a very subtle reality. This is the most subtle. We can't see it if we're operating selfishly. Through our relationships, as our intimacy deepens and becomes more continuous, we begin to recognize non-duality, this non-separation. Literally, our partner, family member, or friend begins to reveal themselves as the same divine source that we find within our own hearts. Ramana Maharshi, the great 20th century Hindu sage, when he was asked by a devotee, "Convince me of the existence of God," he replied, "Realization of the self amounts to such conviction. To one seeking help, I am Atma, the self. Atma is the guru, and Atma is grace also. No one remains without Atma. He is always in contact. Nothing is more intimate." So that is how intimacy factors into awakening. The truth is that complete intimacy with all things is enlightenment. The primal identity, your face before your parents were born, your original face, this present moment awareness, nothing lacking, nothing extra, just this. All roads lead to this ultimate intimacy, in which all beings are known as your own very self, capital S, self, and which is never a hair's breadth away. As Allah states in the Quran, Indeed, it is we who created humankind and fully know what their souls whisper to them, and we are closer to them than their jugular vein. Moreover, it is where we come from and where we return to, in all moments and at the end of time.
And once again, Rabindranath Tagore. From love, the world is born. By love, it is sustained. Toward love, it moves. And into love, it enters.
Yeah, so he's about 100 years ago. He's an early, Rabindranath Tagore, he was an early 20th century poet, and he won the Nobel Prize, I believe.
Yes, he, 1930 something.
He's kind of a contemporary with Dr. Wolf, actually. Yeah. So how do communication and cultural differences provide ripe resources for spiritual growth? So we've talked about the principle here. We work with moral precepts, the four principles of the path, to deepen our intimacy and relationships, to take us closer to our true self. Well, how does this work out in, for instance, cross-cultural relationships and so forth? And then more generally, how can we work with yin and yang in relationship? Yin and yang are Chinese terms that represent the twin pairs of opposites that our world at its most basic manifestation emerges from. For instance, heaven and earth, like heaven-earth circle, light and dark, fullness and emptiness, masculine and feminine. The list goes on. Communication and cultural differences themselves are aspects of our both individual and social conditioning. So these are factors of how we are made up, karmically, so to speak, and initially are somewhat outside of our control until we start to pay attention. But through our relationships, we can learn new ways of communicating. For instance, I have a 13-year-old boy's sense of humor. Hiromi does not. It rarely helps for me to try to make her laugh, but sometimes it does, so I keep trying. So that's one example, but a little bit more maybe sophisticated way of looking at it would be to look at our Enneagram types. So if you guys don't know, the Enneagram originated in, I believe in Pakistan, and I think it was brought back by Gurdjieff, and then developed by Mexican psychologist. I can't remember his name, but and then it's entered into the popular spiritual lexicon, and people use it for lots of things. It's a personality typing system, but it's also useful to understand your core wound or your core orientation, how you broke from source. So in the Enneagram, I'm a 1, which is the perfectionist idealist, and
You could see that.
you can look, yeah, you can read all about me if you want. But I'm driven by a gut reaction of anger. So I'm a gut type. There's 3 gut types, 3 heart types, and 3 head types in the Enneagram. There's 9 types, but then there's more complexities too. And so I'm driven by a gut reaction of anger and the desire to perfect the world. And then because the anger gets turned inward, because I'm also angry at myself for not being perfect, but being angry is a sign of imperfection, so I hide that from myself and pretend that everything's fine, and so you wouldn't necessarily know I'm angry until I explode. The non-dual realization that frees my type directly is the inherent perfection of creation. So if I can come to a direct experience of the inherent perfection of creation, then, whew, oh boy, that's so much easier. I don't have to take myself so seriously anymore.
Whereas I am 6, the skeptic, loyalist. I'm driven by mental reaction of anxiety and desire to feel safe. So you can kind of see where I'm going with this, right? So non-dual realization that frees my type directly is awaken unshakable faith in God. So no wonder why I love just being Bhakta, because I don't have to worry about anything. It's like God or my Divine Mother will take care of everything. I'm just going to not question. I'm not going to be a beggar. I'm not going to be the capitalist. I'm just going to do what she wants me to do.
So how does this work out in practice? All right. Well, so when she gets scared, she gets mad, then I get mad and she gets scared. See how that could be a little challenging. Or maybe I get mad first, then she gets scared, and then she gets mad, which makes me madder. So when we were first married, this has been 25 years ago, we were studying with a Zen master for a while, and he was also a Taoist teacher, and he did energy analyses using the 4 pillars chart of your Chinese birth chart. And so we went and we were doing a workshop, like a retreat, and we asked him to do personality assessments and then a compatibility profile. And somewhere we still have the tape of this, but I remember one of the things he said stuck in my mind when he was looking at her chart, and he said, oh, strong, very strong, too strong, like an army general. And he's like, you guys are very compatible. Don't fight. So, yeah. So somehow we learned to get along. And I learned patience, to wait to be invited for my opinion, to give space, to leave her alone when it's time to do that. And I learned what that looked like. It was not easy. But over time, I learned to trust her process, to learn to have faith in the marriage, and to allow the time that healing can take. Hiromi's more of a slow processor. She's in the human design system, another typing system, an emotional generator. So she has to feel everything. She has to feel it, the emotional part. And so that sometimes she has to sleep on any big decision, at least one night, sometimes a couple of weeks. We just booked we booked a trip to Japan, and we haven't been back in like 8 or 9 years. We kind of lost count. And it took a while to get to the point where we could actually book the tickets because of the challenges involved in the, navigating emotions related to the family of origin stuff. So we finally got those tickets booked yesterday, the same day that we're finally getting these notes done. So yesterday was one of those kinds of days. So she's a slow processor. I'm the quick draw artist. In the human design system, I'm a splenic projector. That means I respond with the immune system, which is lightning. And so I can't keep my foot out of my mouth. I'm impulsive and quick to anger. It's just the nature. So.
And then when I get scared, I used to get triggered sometimes going to the freeze response. And these are learned behavior from my childhood trauma. And I had to work on that aspect of my past before I can get my meditation practice to be stabilized. At least that's my experience. So what I wanted to share is that it really helped me not to separate it out, that aspect. To me, all is spiritual practice. And working on regulating my nervous system really helped me to stabilize my meditation so I won't get triggered. It just seems like never winning game. I will never get to the same starting line I always failed because it just constantly feeling anxious. In fact, I used to lose sleep, doing this kind of thing in the past. So I'm definitely evolving. You are seeing the evolved Hiromi here. And everything was based upon the freedom I had to explore what I needed on the past. So you might be feeling comfortable with jnana path right now, but you never know how things gonna
What's
change.
the dhyana path?
More about inquiry, just Raja yoga, that kind of practice. But I just wanted to kind of point it out. If, just think of your healing too, your physical. This is your temple. This is your instrument serving Divine Mother. So taking care of your body also means you're taking care of her vessel, her instrument. So please never underestimate your bodily needs. And
Okay.
yeah.
You complete
Yeah.
that? Okay. So, since I'm the quick draw artist and also have the male brain, I would always be trying to fix anything right away, especially in the early, 12 years, 15 years of the relationship. And when she would get dysregulated, she'd get triggered with this nervous system stuff she's talking about, go into like a freeze. Before I understood what was going on, it would drive me crazy, So learning about trauma and the trauma response and how to heal that was very important for us. We've done a lot of growing and healing together over these years. And we were able to make it through all these challenges because in our marriage, faith in our relationship comes from divine love, and it helps us to transform all of these challenges.
We also have a lot of things in common. We like to do things. We like to do things together. Family means a lot to me, and spiritual practice, exercise. We actually now practice chanting together. So you see, there's
I'm
a
learning.
hope. There's a hope. You would. Probably in the past, knowing Matt, like, really, he actually now sings with you? Yes, he does. And I'm very, very happy he does that with me. And we like, good home-cooked food. So we cook together with kids, and kids cook dinner for us, and nature and outdoor traveling, and all the spiritual books that we shared. And then when something comes up, like you can imagine, well, you guys have everything down, and I'm sure that this working on the talk together was, smooth. No, there was a lot. And we still, have to work together, and, how much we're going to say this, how much you're going to say, how much we're going to do this. And it's such a dance, literally a dance we do. And sometimes we go down, and we'll go up together. So I think it really helps to have, strong faith and something you do together. And when you find the practice work for you, don't look back, just practice as much as you can. And in the beginning, you might just, use your precept card and bring it out. Okay, this is what I mean. That level of, diligence.
We still use this.
Yes, it's like honesty or, whatever you are not quite. So don't be shy about the form. As we get older, we just want things smooth and comfortable. But you know what? There's so much hidden in that suffering. It's the blessing. It's the Divine Mother's blessing sent specifically for you to really dive deeper. So don't be afraid of your discomfort. It's the key. And then your body will express for you. Body has a mercy on your thought. So I hope you would just kind of check in with your own experience there. And also, this too is a precept of self-discipline. How much do I actually let ignorance and suffering take, Joe used to say to me, are you practicing delusion or are you practicing wisdom? And I'm like, oh. So I just wanted to share that with you. And Dogen says, turn the wheel of Dharma Dharma turns you. And value yourself. You are the Divine Mother's instrument. And we need every single one of you to do that. Bring in light in your community, in your family. And we're counting on you.
Okay, so as for cultural differences, in my opinion, the difference between the masculine or the male and the feminine or the female brains are actually greater than the difference between American and Japanese cultures. But I would say that the Japanese are in some major ways very different from Americans. Fundamentally though, however, we're all human beings. We have shared humanity and our true nature is the same. It's just expressed differently by different cultures and the different sexes maybe.
And in Japan, there are unspoken rules everywhere. And there's an emphasis on politeness and sort of surface appearance of harmony, but with hidden resentment that you have to work 80 hours to just produce this system that appeared working. Group dynamics are valued, and it's nice, but at times it's very stifling. That's why we have the term karoshi, working to death. And in the U.S., people...
And let me just say, and they don't mean that metaphorically. It
I mean,
actually means that they died, and then often the widow will get a settlement.
So it is actually it's kind of puzzling, but it is true that we do hear that in news, that so-and-so passed of karoshi. So let us not be those. And in the U.S., I think in more of a very individualistic world here, but there's a space for flexibility that I'm so grateful I don't have to practice true Pure Land Buddhism that I grew up in. When I first came here, Matt had Buddha in his apartment, and he has this humble altar. And I came from this very ornate altar, very expensive altar with shiny, the statues and things like that. But it was ritual focused, and I couldn't really relate and resonate with. But he's actually not going to the temple every week, but he's practicing Buddhism. And then I do remember wondering, is this the same Buddhism that I grew up with? Is this different Buddhism? And I like his Buddhism much better. So there is that difference that I felt.
The way we first started hanging out before we were dating, like I said, we were in a class, a year-long program, senior year program, multicultural psychological counseling. And I wanted to play hooky one night from my Kung Fu class responsibilities, because I was an assistant and that instructor in that club, and go to a meditation class that was being put on by Geshe Jamyang Sultram, a Tibetan Buddhist teacher and also mental health therapist. He took me and a group of students to Nepal the previous spring, and so I'd studied with him some over there and wanted to go to this meditation class. And so incidentally, he later became Hiromi's supervisor for her internship, and then a year later was the officiant at our wedding. So we were married by a Tibetan Buddhist geshe. Anyway, I invited the group of classmates that we had begun, sort of socially hanging out with at lunch, and
then, so I just kind of thought, okay, it's a group thing. Well, and so I didn't have a car, that he was going to give me a car, and he was going to pick me up a particular time frame. Well, guess what? He showed up early and knocking on my door, and I thought, you're early. And then he goes, well, if I show up early, I thought you might feed me. And I thought,
It's worked in the past.
goodness, wow.
Yeah. So anyway, the point is that she was the only one that raised her hand. She thought other people would go, but it ended up being a date. So our first date, we weren't dating, but our first date was a meditation class. And this kind of shows us a little bit about the spontaneity of karma. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen. And sometimes it ends up being a good thing. Also a very complex thing. So one way to describe the differences in our marriage and in relationships in general is through this lens that I mentioned, yin and yang. Yin and yang.
And dance of polarity. Dance of polarity, male, female, masculine, feminine, and in our marriage, east and west. And it's nothing to really be, harsh about. It's just a dance, and learn to enjoy.
Like I mentioned, I'm kind of quick on the draw, so I tend to be the initiator. This is more of a yang role.
And then I'm the sustainer. I'm Libra, so I like things in harmony. I like things in just nice, steady pace.
That's more of a yin role. So, actually, it's still you.
And so in this case, what I wanted to say is that you might be noticing, I think Matt speaks more eloquently. Exactly. I don't need to fight over my airtime. I don't mind. He can speak in a clear way that I don't necessarily have that gift. And so I think recognizing one's gift is really useful, that we all have the gift that you feel pretty good at. And to find other's gift is really helpful in a relationship, and examine your relationship to see how polarity kind of express in your own relationship, not just a romantic one, but work or, the place you do volunteer or whatever that might be.
No two relationships are identical, that's for sure. So you have to, examine yours and learn about yourself. As far as in our family, we chose a traditional family structure, and that worked for us. The kids benefited the most, I think,
And I chose to be a stay-at-home mom, and I really wanted to transform my family karma, that I wanted to have a relationship with my children. So I feel like I got to experience the things that my parents didn't have a capacity to offer. And so I think we all have spiritual mission that you take, and that to me, that was my family. So I feel grateful that the center teaching, the mystical teaching, really helped me to have that. What I really hope in my life was love in the family, that my children will have relationship with me, and whether they like it or not, they're here today to support us. So I feel very, very grateful. Yeah.
So just the last little bit about polarities in relationships. Polarity makes the charge more potent, just like in electromagnetism. Means, the more the polarity, the more energy potential in the relationship. But there needs to be a balance between the potency of the charge and its ability to maintain connection. There's got to be some way that continues. And, in some senses where destiny comes in. Not all relationships are meant to last a lifetime, but it's also where the work comes in. It's which we've been talking about. And finally, we kind of want to start to wrap up a little bit, the talk part here, and just give you some pointers about intimate partnership relationships. So the first thing is that all intimate relationships require this work for, moral work for intimacy. No matter how compatible you are. We experienced from the beginning of our relationship an ease with each other, even before dating. It felt very natural. There's a quality of naturalness in our compatibility.
And it's
Nope. You're ahead of the game. It's right here. Right there. Yeah.
see, I am
It's okay.
very much
We're almost
going
there.
ahead there.
It's okay.
I think that what I learned, what I recall is that Matt always felt natural to me, like the air or the weather. And even if the weather is stormy, it still feels natural to be around with him. That really helped in our relationship.
So that's, an advantage we had, a sort of compatibility energetically, I guess. But dealing with each other's conditioning can be very challenging, like we've talked about. Even though we're soulmates or whatever, we've had to put in the hard work, as we've shared. And remember, other people cannot make us happy. This is the first precept. Nobody can make you happy. That's your job. It's your nature to be happy. You just have to uncover it.
And this is the dance.
Dance.
Learn to really love it.
So most importantly, the intimate partnerships have some spiritual values, some spiritual benefits. And the first is, this is someone to experience deep love with. Deep love. Sharing a family with a life partner is probably the most intimate experience possible, short of enlightenment. Also, the bliss of physical union, we all know what I'm talking about here, can show us the possibilities of bliss, can show us the direction in one sense to look, what is the possibility here? This intimate merging, this union that I can experience with a partner. For most of us, this is the experience in relative life closest to awakening, closest to liberation. But all things pass. Those kinds of experiences will come and go. And that brings us to this other thing about intimate relationships, is that really shows you the truth of impermanence. All great love has built into it great sorrow. So at least one of us will have to experience great sorrow in this relationship at some point. Unless we just die in a fiery collision or explosion or something. So the second is having an intimate partner means you have somebody with you a lot of the time to show you your edges in a consistent way. Show you your conditioning, your resistance.
And it's a blessing. It's your blessing. It's a gift from divine. And that is really drawing you closer to love. So don't be afraid. Go closer. And faith in the relationship is the foundation of faith in God.
And vice versa, faith in God is foundation for faith in the relationship. It goes together. In the East, gurus used to have this role, but it's not so much in the West, and it's less common, I think. Teachers nowadays are expected to be always encouraging, never challenging, but partners reserve the right to challenge us. And the third thing the third spiritual value of intimate partnership is, it's somebody to practice together with. You have a playmate or a best friend, a training partner, a practice partner. And they can be helpful both to encourage your practice and also to show you an example. For instance, Hiromi getting into the bhakti path and into the sacred music of India has been, it's like a whole new world has opened up in my life that doesn't require very much effort for me, It's beautiful. And shared work and this is true for spiritual work as well, is more enjoyable. This is also the value of Sangha, the spiritual community. Humans, we like to share. We like to be in community, to be in family.
And it's our true nature.
So in conclusion of this talky bit, let's recap with 4 points to summarize our treatment of today's subject. Number 1, relationships help us to deepen intimacy through devotion with each other and simultaneously with our true self. 2, relationships take work, which requires moral precepts based in divine love. 3, relationships help us to understand our own conditioning so that we can gradually detach from our self-centered clinging and surrender to unconditional freedom. And 4th, relationships are thus the divine dance of God running through our lives.
Just to get another taste of devotional practice, I selected devotional song for you. So Asatoma Sakamaya is mantra found in Upanishad, and this mantra is used for purifying prayer, chanted for well-being of oneself or humanity, encouraging practitioner to move towards enlightenment and a higher state of being, and saying, I love this mantra, lead me from untruth to truth, lead me from ignorance, darkness to light, knowing, lead me from death to immortality. So this is what you'll be reciting when you recite this word. I wanted to say, see, I have so much love to share because I was totally supported by wonderful sisters in the center. That it was actually Annie O'Shea who taught me ukulele and years ago, and she told me, Hiromi, you only need 4 chords and you can play anything and you don't have to play Mary Had a Little Lamb. So here I am after many years, thanks to her and people who helped. It was actually Bev who took me to the chanting group. So you see, I have so much good thing that I receive here. So here I am sharing that joy with you. This is from Upanishad. It goes like this. Om Masato Masakamaya Tamasoma Jyoti Gamaya Vrittoma Vritangamaya 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 Om Masato Masakamaya Tamasoma Jyoti Gamaya Rito Mamritanga Maya Om Masato Masaka Maya Tamaso Majoti Gamaya Rito Mamritanga Maya Om Masato Masaka Maya Tamaso Majoti Gamaya Rito Mamritanga Maya Om Masato Masaka Maya Tamaso Majoti Gamaya Rito Mamritanga Maya Om Masato Masaka Maya Tamaso Majoti Gamaya Rito Mamritanga Maya Om Masato Masaka Maya Tamaso Majoti Gamaya Rito Mamritanga Maya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So this time, it's going to be much easier for you because I choose English word. So we'll practice Ho'oponopono. This has been such an important word to me. I'm sorry. It's really essential in a relationship to be able to say, I'm sorry. And then, please forgive me. Please forgive me. And thank you. Thank you for making coffee. Thank you for whatever your loved one did for you. It's really good to acknowledge. Thank you goes a long way. And importantly, I love you. I love you. I love you. So let us sing. So this one, it's, you know the word, you don't have to stare at the screen, you could feel your heart and sing, and if the tenderness comes, and please allow it and welcome it. And I think that's one of the sad part that, people get shied away from feeling the emotions. And it's such a blessing. It's the holy water, holy shakes, holy release. And please welcome it. So, please help me use the, join me and do the rattle too when you are ready. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. So it is customary to offer what you cultivated in the gathering to share with the rest of the world. So the next one is,
And the last one.
yeah, the last one, yes. Yeah, I'm sure you're relieved to hear this is the last one.
Some people might be.
Yeah. So last one is Loka Samasta Sukino Bhavantu. And this means may all beings be happy. So it tend to be end of the gathering. We practice this one. So I like to do this with you. And just send this well wish for all the beings in the world. And join me, Loka Samasta Sukino Bhavantu. 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 please join me in reciting Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. All right. That's
Okay,
it
that's it.
for you
That's it.
all.